We truly have idiots who are in control of the federal government. That's right. Elon Musk and his dumb Doge workers are creating all sorts of havoc, firing people left and right, even though they don't even bother to research what they actually do. They're just, what the hell? We're just going to fire people. Now, more than 400 support staff employees at the Federal Aviation Administration, they've been fired. That's right, fired. You know, the people who handle critical behind-the-scenes work, like maintenance, environmental safety, as well as aeronautical information. Yep, the kind of jobs you don't always see, but who are absolutely essential to keeping planes moving safely in the U.S. airspace. Now, here's where it gets even more concerning. These terminations come just weeks after a tragic midair collision in Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people. Yep, and guess what happened today? A flight from Minneapolis to Canada, guess what? Serious winds, it then flips over and 80 people word came out. Now, you've had some also private aircraft that have been involved in air crashes as well. Now, these idiots at Doge, their mission is to so-called streamline federal agencies and reduce workforce costs. And this round of firings is part of those cost-cutting measures. Let's be clear. Air traffic controllers themselves weren't affected. They're protected under a different union, but trust me, they're coming after them. These union leaders say these support staff losses could still seriously impact aviation safety. David Spiro, who leads the union representing these workers, said that those emails started rolling in late Friday night and kept coming. And here's the part that hits home. They weren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. These were people, real people like us who work hard to build careers and provide for their families. And many of them had just been hired or promoted within the last year. The National Air Traffic Control Association, they're still assessing the potential risk, but with air travel at an all-time high, there's a lot of concern that these cuts could put even more pressure on the system. But it's not just the FAA. Do y'all realize that these dumbasses actually fired personnel that oversaw the nation's nuclear arsenal? Who thought that was a good idea? More than 300 workers this weekend were fired. Then the dumbasses in the Trump White House like, yeah, we might need them. So then they started trying to call them, couldn't reach some of them, to rehire them. Y'all, this is the people with some of the most sensitive jobs in the federal government who oversee the nuclear arsenal. But the so-called rocket scientists working with Elon Musk, they were just like, yeah, whatever. We'll just sit on a spreadsheet. We're just going to slash people. Do y'all see what's happening? Agency after agency. And then they're claiming, oh, we're saving $6 billion a year. They can't quantify it. Then they keep saying tax savings. Actually, it's not tax savings because it's money that's already being allocated, been budgeted. Then they're saying that, yeah, this is going to make us more efficient. But you don't know what they actually did, and you don't know the down the line impact and who they're actually hurting. The idiots, they're just doing whatever they want to. And guess what? Look at the polling data. America's like, oh yeah, we like what they're doing until it impacts you. 67 died in that plane crash at DCA. What happens when you have the next plane crash? The next one. And then train derailment. Then what happens when they're getting rid of the safety folks when it comes to cars? Then what happens when it comes to our water, our food? They're whacking the people in the CDC who track things like bird flu. Okay, so then what happens next? This is what these fools voted for. And later we're going to show you how some of these people who voted are now crying. In fact, the Wall Street Journal did a big story, and these were, I thought they were only going to do that stuff. What they weren't going to do over here, they told you they were going to do all of it. And see, this is the other thing that really gets me. I'm really interested in the people who go, well, I know they said these things in Project 2025, but I didn't really think they were going to do them. I had that conversation yesterday. I was walking back to my hotel in San Francisco, leaving the NBA All-Star Game event, and a brother stopped me, and he actually said that. He was like, yeah, I think a lot of people, they voted because they didn't think they were actually going to do it. I was like, they told you. Axios first reported in 2021, Project 2025. New York Times followed up with that. We told you about their reporting. We told you about Project 2025 in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Vice President Kamala Harris told you repeatedly. It was all at the Democratic National Convention. Taraji P. Henson told you at the BET Awards. All these people. But, see, here's what I think happened. This happens all the time. It's not my backyard. I want them to cut that. Ooh, but not this here. Don't cut this here. In fact, that was a tweet I saw. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski. She actually, in reference to Russell Vought being confirmed, she talked about how it was important to bring trauma to the federal workers. She was defending her vote for Russell Vought. Yet when they started slashing cuts, including 100 Native Americans in Alaska, all of a sudden, Lisa Murkowski is shot. These are critical jobs. You got Katie Britt, senator in Alabama. Oh, when they start slashing those dollars for research hospitals, they forgot those universities are in their states. I can go on and on and on, all around the country. All of these red state senators. And in fact, oh my God, I saw a tweet on the plane flying back home today. I saw a tweet from Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, the same fool who voted for RFK, the same fool who likely is going to vote for Kash Patel, decrying the firing of probationary FBI agents and talking about how this is important to Louisiana. But y'all voted for the people who are doing the cuts, and y'all actually have oversight, and y'all won't actually even call a committee hearing and demand Elon and his team come there to address it. It's all because you are deathly afraid of the dictator Donald Trump. See, here's what I think what's going to have to happen. And it's hard because a lot of black people are going to get hurt. 1 in 5 federal workers are African Americans. And I told you MAGA's effort to defund Black America. I think the only way we confront this is we're going to have total destruction. Now, I know somebody watching me right now is like, damn, bro, do we have to go that far? Yeah. I think the only way we deal with this is if these MAGA right-wing nutcases lose everything. That means farmers, you're gonna have to file for bankruptcy. Because the billions you lost from USAID in Kansas and Texas, that means Georgia farmers, you're gonna have to go belly up. Oh yeah. That means that all y'all white folks in West Virginia, in Arkansas, and South Carolina, and Mississippi, who depend on those SNAP benefits, you're gonna have to go hungry. Oh yeah. All of these places, NASA in Houston, NASA in Alabama, SpaceX gonna replace all y'all. Then all of a sudden, Republicans in Texas and Alabama gonna be like, wait. Wait, what are you doing? I mean, those cuts, yeah, because those are jobs. And guess what happens? Those people have homes. Look what's happening in Washington, D.C. in the last 60 days. More than 5,000 homes have been put on the market. Those are federal workers. But those are not just federal workers. Those are people who actually get federal contracts. See, when I laid out to y'all the defunding of Black America, I wasn't joking. It was the people who receive federal contracts. And then it's going to trickle down: state contracts, county contracts, city contracts, school district contracts. We're talking billions of dollars. People who have kids in school, who are in college, people who are in their late 40s and 50s, who still have another 20 to 25 years of work in them, they've got no place to go. So what then happens? I'm telling y'all right now, the only way these MAGA people and these independent voters, and let me also say it, the 90 million people who sat their asses at home and did not participate in the election, the only way we're going to get their attention is going to have to be total destruction. They're going to have to lose everything. They're going to have to lose their farms, their businesses, the money they get. When the Republicans start trying to pass a bill for the $4.5 trillion tax cut, you know what they're targeting? Food programs, health programs. So you're going to start seeing individuals who have surgeries planned for 6 months late from now, trying to get them done the next month. That stuff's going to get cut. I know. And see, right now, it's just like really, really, really small stuff. But I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. And if you think these FAFO videos we're going to show a little bit later are an example, you're going to see a lot more. And again, I know we didn't want to have this conversation. I know we didn't want to go there. But we are going to have to see maximum pain inflicted on these fools for them to go, what the hell was I doing voting for this idiot? Y'all have heard me say numerous times, Donald Trump would not let any of these broke-ass MAGA white voters even walk through his hotel lobbies. They couldn't even walk on the grounds of Mar-a-Lago. He is a rich SOB who only cares about rich people. He played y'all. And I saw a woman this weekend who said that two of her brothers voted for Trump and 2 voted for Kamala Harris. A sister. I said, you better than me, because their asses couldn't come around me. And some of y'all brothers who actually thought Trump was going to be putting money in y'all pockets, y'all are in for a rude ass awakening. So when Republicans talk about woke, let me just go ahead and say this. Whole lot of y'all about to be woken up. Whole lot of y'all are about to be real awake. Because see, your stomach's going to be growling and your ass won't be able to go to sleep. You're going to be awake. A lot of y'all, that healthcare gets snatched. Oh yeah, you're going to be sitting at home in pain and you're going to be wide awake. And then y'all going to be sitting there going, well, somebody, please, somebody stand up for me. And the Republicans who y'all voted for in the House and the Senate, they so scared of Trump, they ain't going to say nothing. Mass destruction has to hit this country in order for it to wake up from the BS that they have been fed. Killer Bethesda, communication strategist, joining us out of Washington, D.C. Also, Dr. Amakongo, the being a senior professorial lecturer, School of International Service, American University, author of Lies About Black People, How to Combat Racist Stereotypes and Why It Matters. Renita Shannon, former Georgia State Representative, joining us from Atlanta. Glad to have all 3 of you here. People hate when I say this. I mean, all weekend, people were stopping me in San Francisco, and they were like, hey, what do we do? What are we going on? Oh my God, I can't believe this. And I'm like, why can't you believe it? They literally told you over and over and over again. They told you what they were going to do, and they're doing it. And the people who voted for it are now realizing they're not just deporting people who are criminals. That's the thing that just really cracks me up. I mean, you're there in Georgia. Donald Trump, out of all that ass kissing that Brian Kemp, the governor, did, out of all that he did, giving his political machine to turn out votes for Donald Trump. And what did the con man do? Yeah, we're not going to extend hurricane relief to Georgia. Thank you very much for your votes. Now y'all can kiss my ass.
Right. And that's been a big deal here in Georgia. I mean, I had a 200-foot tree fall on my house, and I live in Decatur during Hurricane Helene last year. So it has been a big deal. But to your point, I mean, Project 2025 was the last advertisement of what Republicans wanted to do as far as slashing the federal government. And the reason why I say it was just the last advertisement was because for decades, Republicans have been leading with this sort of philosophy that the government is completely overbloated, and there are just so many people who exist and work in government as federal workers that don't need to be there, and we are just spending so much money, wasting money on a government that is far too large. And the reality is, just like how they would always talk about fraud in voting, but they never could prove it, this is something similar in that they are finding out, and the public is getting a lesson in how government works, is that these people were essential. Just because you don't quite understand exactly what every single person is doing within government, it's a system. And so when you take away one part of the system, it affects the other parts of the systems, and that has real life ramifications for everyday folks. And so unfortunately, we don't teach civics in this country. A lot of people don't understand what the point of having certain government agencies is. They don't understand what the point of having certain functions of government are really for, but a lot of it goes to health and safety of the general public. And so at the same time that the general public is learning what government does when you see services being taken away, it seems like the president is also learning it, because many things that he's done, as you mentioned, he's had to rescind.
Feel easy to have this sort of broad, non-specific criticism of government. The government is just too big. It's too unwieldy. Okay. But then when you start, okay, what actually happens? What are those critical jobs? Again, I love the people in red states who complain about federal spending. Government's too large. Hurricane hits, tornado hits, flash floods hit, natural disasters, wildfires, mudslides. And it's amazing how the most libertarian, we spend too much, government's too big people. Where's the government? Where's the president? Where was Biden? Where is Harris? Why are they helping us? Well, hold up. I thought y'all were all about your own. I thought government was too big. Now, all of a sudden, now you begging for God. I'll say it again. Folk are going to hate things until they need it.
Yeah, that's sad, man. That's the truth. And I feel like I'm a little bit concerned, though, because I feel what you're saying, but I'm hoping that there can be a break before people lose everything, because once they lose everything, that's just going to lead towards some type of violent outburst towards our own communities. And so I'm hoping that in some way, shape, or form, there can be like a pre-lose everything moment where people say, yo, I got to vote for the Democrat. I got to do something. Because you see all of these town hall meetings.
No, I'm a Congo. No, I'm a Congo. No, I hear your point, and I know it's what we want, but it can't be a little pain. Can't be. I mean, I'm serious. People, I use this example about a drug addict. You can sit here and warn your cousin, warn your uncle, warn your brother, warn your sister, and they're gonna keep doing it. Like, yo, you're gonna go to jail. Boom, this gonna happen. This gonna happen, and you keep wanting. You save them. You try to help them out, and then you have to reach a point where you say, you're gonna have to go to prison. I've tried everything I could to prevent that from happening. I don't want harm coming to you, but you are so hard-headed that you're gonna have to hit absolute rock bottom for this to happen. And again, we're all impacted, but this is where you gotta say, tariffs, go right ahead. Since all you dumbasses believe this fool who said, no, we can make money from tariffs. Okay, knock yourself out. Okay, since y'all think we can just whack 1 million federal workers and it won't mean a thing, okay, go right ahead. America has to hit rock bottom to realize they have been played, they've been in a cult, they fell for the okie doke and the banana in the tailpipe, and then this is where they say, now do you want to listen to us? Because we told you that fool was a con man, a con artist, and his party backed a con artist. Are you now listening to us?
I hear you, and I hope that is indeed the case, right? That people will start listening. I was watching your broadcast from last week with Nola, and she was talking about being in a meeting all day and how it just kept pressing in her mind that some of these guys do just want to watch the world burn, but these are the guys who are at the top, who are more well-to-do. The folks at the bottom got to realize that they're going to burn with us if they don't get it together. And really, at the end of the day, I hope that when they hit that rock bottom, that they do understand that there is a group of people, there's party, who they've been called, woke and leftists and Marxists and all of that socialist stuff. All of the policies they're fighting for are the policies you're losing right now. I remember you played that farmer last week who was fighting. He was like, I voted for Trump, blah, blah, blah. And, the policy with the Infrastructure Act that he was getting benefits from, Obama, Biden and Kamala Harris ushered in. People have to start making that connection. And the last thing I'll say, Roland, is that we need to continue to build this media platform and others, because these guys who are on the conservative and MAGA, someone did a survey on NBC. I was listening, and they said there's about 600,000 of them who are subscribed to these different social media posts, but like 70,000 in the liberal spaces. But even with that, we still had a close election. And so we have to keep targeting them with real information to challenge their misinformation and disinformation. And I'm sure we're going to be able to be prevailing in the midterms if we can break their ecosystem as they continue to fall towards rock bottom. Because if we don't break the ecosystem, Trump's just going to come in with some type of check or like he did with the farmers before, and they're going to say, he's our savior. I'm still riding with Trump. And we got to make sure that doesn't happen.
And I don't want this to happen, Kelly, but it actually has to happen. These people, I'm sick of what's going on. They are in search of trying to blame somebody. And these largely white voters, they want to blame immigrants, they want to blame DEI, they want to blame CRT, they want to blame woke, they want to blame Black Lives Matter. Then you got these Simple Simon Negroes. They want to say, oh, it's all Democrats' fault, and we ain't got this, we ain't got that. Okay, all these people who are just in a constant state of complaining, they're going to have to lose some shit, Kelly. And they don't even realize how they're going to get hit. I keep saying to people who say, I want the government out my life. You're so stupid because you don't even understand that government, whether you like it or not, it's involved in every facet of your life. Your birth certificate, from birth to death. Government plays a role in everything, what we eat, what we drink, what we breathe, so many different things. No one even wants to even think that when I get in a car, the reason I have many of the safety devices in my car is because they were forced there by government. I don't even understand they were forced there. Fuel efficiency, that wasn't because of the automakers. It was because of government. And I'm not saying government is perfect. What I am saying is government is essential to our lives. And if you want big business and the tech bros to have complete run of this bad boy with no oversight, anything, oh, you're about to get it. Watch what happens.
My concern with all of this, I understand and sadly agree with your theory of it having to hit rock bottom, of Americans having to hit rock bottom. My concern is everybody's rock bottom is different, right? So exactly what level of rock bottom do we have to hit for people to just wake up and be like, oh shit, I got to do something, or oh shit, I was wrong. I don't know if we're ever going to get to a point where we're going to have a MAGA Republican say, I'm sorry. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I think they are going to hit rock bottom, get the benefits that Democrats will inevitably provide, which will essentially be a Band-Aid on a gaping wound by the time all this is finished. And then they will still say, well, you weren't there for me, so I'm still going to vote for the Mango Mussolini or equivalent, depending on how long this goes on for, right? My frustration is the fact that we got here at all. My frustration is that we had an entirely different party, being Democrats, being socialists, being whatever, whose messaging wasn't clear enough, wasn't culty enough, what have you, to get through to the people who truly needed it, such that we ended up with 90 million people sitting on the sidelines of one of the most crucial elections in American modern history. That is my frustration here. And further, everything that is going to happen to get us to rock bottom is going to happen to me first. It's going to happen to Black people first. It's going to happen to people who look like me first. That is what's frustrating. The fact that once again, we have to be subjected to white nonsense because white people stay white peopling at varying levels.
Listen, I don't want us to hit rock bottom, but I think in order for those folk to wake up, they're going to have to lose some stuff because they think, oh yeah, it's those Black people getting stuff. Oh, we're just giving things to these illegal immigrants. They have to lose some stuff. And look, it's just like, and we're about to talk about this right now, we talk about vaccines, okay? All of these anti-vaccine zealots, I'm just gonna go, their kids are going to die. Mm-hmm. Their kids are gonna have to die for them to go, oh shit, this thing is real. See, they're playing games. They're playing games. When I was on Piers Morgan's show, Clay Travis tried to get cute with me by, well, Roland, did you get the shot? Yes, I got 2 shots. Well, why didn't you get all 10? The government told you to get 10. I got 2 shots. And I went, but I got by 20 shots, got to go to Africa. No. See, he tried to play a game. I said, Clay, you can't get cute with me. The game won't work. So what's happening now is, these people, in fact, Trump has signed an executive order saying no federal funding for any school district that mandates COVID vaccines. So their whole deal, now mind you, the COVID vaccine that was developed when that fool was there last time. So all of these people, this is how they're operating. This is how they're thinking. This is what their mentality is. And so they don't understand what we're now seeing.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. And right now, we're accepting investors in our $17 million round to revolutionize the future of social media. Today, for just $399, you can own 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. While the big platforms have grown too massive and disconnected from their users, Fanbase is building a platform where creators and users truly come first. We've already raised $4.8 million from everyday investors who believe in this vision, and now you can join them. This is your chance to invest in a social media tech company with over 1 million users that is disrupting media by allowing anyone to reach all of their following and monetize their content from day one. The market is changing, big platforms are failing to serve their users, and Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now. Invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the future of social media.